Don't let all the hosting and planning be in vain. Remember to set that tone with how you want guests to feel and receive your home. I love to host, and I think there is such an art to making people feel welcome in your home and also to manage the stress and the mental load of hosting. It can get overwhelming, and it's so important to stay grounded and stay focused and stay present so that you're able to enjoy yourself and your guests are able to enjoy themselves without you feeling chaotic and without people feeling stressed or pressured or your energy rubbing off on them. So I wanted to talk about how to stop hosting stressed out and things that you can do as a host that can make your guest feel unwelcome or not comfortable. And the first thing is the host's emotional temperature sets the room. Guests mirror your energy. So if they're coming in and you're already stressed out and flustered and constantly apologizing for things, then they're going to feel uncomfortable and not really know how to receive your home and to receive the environment. And they're going to play off of what you are giving them and not feel comfortable. If you're rushing and not looking at them and constantly in a state of panic and being frantic, that's not going to translate well to the people that are coming inside of your home. And it sets the tone for this weird feeling of them not being really able to accept the gift that you have prepared for them. Even if something goes wrong, your reaction teaches your guests how to feel about that thing or to feel about your event. And constantly rushing makes guests feel like they're inconveniencing you. And it's not going to set the tone for people to want to come back and to feel like it was a good time and to feel comfortable in your house. When you're constantly apologizing, rushing, not making eye contact, it just does not give off, this is something that I want to do, and it gives off, this is something that is stressing me out, and people feel inconvenienced by them stressing you out. So even if things are not prepared yet, if things are not ready, be relaxed, be calm, because it's all about connecting with people and it's not about having things perfect. Delegate some tasks, allow people to be included, smile, look at them, embrace them, and really understand that the event and the hosting is about connecting with people and not about putting on a perfect show. How you greet people sets the mood within those first couple minutes. If there's other people there, introduce each other. And 9 times out of 10, people will join in conversation with each other off of introductions and just have a good positive energy. Really emulate that energy that you want people to feel at your event. So if you're emulating stress and chaos, then people are probably going to feel inconvenienced and awkward. But if you're emulating warmth and kindness, people are going to feel relaxed and receptive. So you really set the tone for how your guests are going to receive your event. Don't let it all be in vain. You already put in all the work, all the invites. So allow yourself to set that tone well and to have a positive attitude going into those events. Another rule and standard that I have for hosting, and of course this is all through learning experience, is get yourself ready first. The last thing you want to do is leave your guests to go to the restroom and prepare your hair and prepare your makeup and to put on an outfit. Always get yourself ready first, because the best thing to do is have things in the kitchen to do still, but not things in the bedroom to do, like your outfit and hair and makeup, like I just stated. So it's good to have yourself prepared first, so there's not that stress of having to leave people or feeling unfinished or looking disheveled. You always want to look your best and put together for the event. Be completely ready a good amount of time before the event starts. And depending on the event, I have like a rule of thumb with how much time that I want to prepare for myself to get ready, because the last touches should not be by yourself. The last touches should be in the communal setting of your living room or in your kitchen, and just throwing things together, making eye contact, allowing people to feel included. Like, yeah, sure, you can lay some napkins out or yeah, sure, if you want. Or, there's always, it depends on the event. So if I'm doing like a formal dining event in our dining room, then I like to have everything kind of laid out and ready to go. But there can still be things done like, yeah, if you could pull the rolls out the oven or whatever and put them in a bowl, that would be great. If not, don't worry about it, But it's always good to have people be included, especially if you are feeling a little pressed for time. You don't have to do everything by yourself. People love being included, especially when your attitude is positive and warm and not strict and like, make sure you do this in a particular way, right? You want to have a warm, friendly attitude, like a kind of careless of like, yeah, sure, pour some chips in a bowl, or if you can put these drinks in the champagne cooler or whatever it is. Allow your attitude to be positive during the delegation and allow yourself to be completely put together so that you feel like now we are, doing what this event is about, which is about connection and relationship. Now we are in fellowship, in relationship, and enjoying each other's presence. And I don't feel like, I have to still run and get my eyebrows drawn on in the restroom. So have yourself completely put together. And then another standard or rule, whatever you want to call it, for hosting that I have, number 3, is to wear an apron. Wear protective measures for your clothing. I value taking care of my stuff. I value a level of formality of like, aprons are there to protect your clothing and take care of the clothing that you buy so that it lasts a long time. I value those kind of dynamics. So I think that it's important to utilize aprons so that you're not getting your clothes dirty. And so, if you're just putting the sauce on something or doing something, you don't have to spill on your clothes and say, shoot, I have to change, or anything of that measure. It's just a protective measure. Even if you feel like things are not going to be messy, to always do that step to have that delineation between I'm in preparation mode and it's okay to move a little different, a little more messier because I have this protective barrier, versus I'm in relaxation mode and the robe comes, or the apron comes off, and you're able to, really rest in your outfit. So I think that is just a protective measure so that nothing happens to where you have to step away from your guests. You want to limit the amount of times you have to step away. Be ready, be cautious, and be friendly and happy so that you're able to enjoy your guests and take those protective measures so that you're not having to step away. And rule number 5 that I have is to remove anxiety items before guests come. These are items in your home that you don't feel comfortable with people utilizing, touching. They maybe might break. Remove those things from the shared space so that you're not constantly thinking about those things or placing rules around those certain things also. This for me looks like if I'm having an event where there are toddlers and kids that are running around. Our space is pretty open, living room, kitchen idea concept. So there's not much like delineation between each room. So I like to put up things that if there's like pots that I have on a stand and like a kid could kind of push it and it break or they can hurt themselves, I like to maybe move those to the floor or remove those from the room entirely, because it just gives me peace of mind. I don't have to say, hey, watch out, watch out, watch out. Or if I have antiques from our travels or something like that on our table, our dining room table, I remove those and place them in the office or place them somewhere else. If there's going to be small kids, or even if there's going to be like a lot of games and a lot of movement throughout the event, I like to make sure that those things are put away so that it just decreases my anxiety. It decreases the rules of the house. You don't have to be so strict or so observant with certain things, and you can just be relaxed and be peaceful. Even if that looks like exchanging certain items, because I do have certain blankets that I like to use for the family and maybe certain blankets that I like to use for the guests. So switching out those blankets, switching out those glass items, and switching out those things so that you have less stress throughout the event. And again, this depends on the type of event that you are having. Are there small children? Are there babies? Are there adults? Are there games? What is the event that I'm hosting, and how can I be mindful of what's in my space so that it eliminates that stress and that anxiety throughout the event. I love hosting, and I hope this video is so helpful. There's a couple events that are coming up that hopefully I'll be able to document and record. It's kind of a bit difficult to record certain angles and capture the aesthetic of the events that I host, but hopefully I'll become better at that, because that is something that I love to do, is utilize my space, utilize my dishes and everything that I have. I like to do that kind of every day anyway, but especially when someone comes over. And there's other things that I can definitely expound on too, if you want to know how to always stay ready before somebody comes over last minute. If you have friends that stop by, what items you can keep in your house to always stay ready. And also food preparation, that's something that I'm huge on, and I feel like I'm learning to kind of master throughout hosting particular events. So if you want to learn like before preparation, maybe I think before preparation encompasses like what friends can help, food purchases, and washing certain things and all of that, setting up the table. I think that can kind of encompass all of those things. So if you want me to expound more on hosting preparation and other things, then just let me know, because I love hosting for all events. I love when people stop by randomly. I love when I have an event planned. I love small, intimate dinner parties. Bigger events are a little more anxiety inducing for me, because I've only done so many really big, like not formal events, like just Thanksgiving type of big things. But I love a good intimate dinner party, and I love a good random stop by. So those things I feel like I have mastered more than the bigger events. But as time progresses, I will continue to share what I learn. And I think that it's such a beautiful thing to come together and be around people you love. And I think the most important thing out of this video is to remember that your attitude really sets the tone for how people engage in your events. And don't let all the hosting and planning be in vain. Remember to set that tone with how you want guests to feel and receive your home. So don't be stressed out and frantic and visibly distressed, but try to have some level of emotional regulation and mindfulness to say, you know what? This is about enjoying others. And then set yourself up for success in that, right? Get yourself ready a significant time ahead, and then do the remaining things that you need to touch up for the dinner portion. Allow yourself to delegate a little bit and let people be hands-on, and know that it doesn't have to be so strict and formal. And allow yourself those protective measures of removing those anxiety-inducing items in your living room, in your kitchen, things that you don't want people to really touch. And also, preparing yourself beforehand and wearing an apron and things of the sort. So I hope this was helpful. Comment down below some hosting hacks, standards, or rules that you have when people come over, and let me know if there's anything else that you, again, would like me to expound on. And I hope everyone has a wonderful dinner, a wonderful evening, a wonderful time with whatever you have planned. It will go well as long as your attitude sets the mood.